was the night before Christmas. Okay, it's 2 nights, but I can't be recording on Christmas Eve. Wife and kids would have a heart attack, I guess. Or throw something at the door, probably. Not a heart attack. They wouldn't suffer any physical harm. It might be me. But anywho, stacked weekend with New Hampshire wrestlers all over the East Coast, including Delaware, Massachusetts, and right here in the Granite State. And I'm going to get started with a Thursday duel and what I believe was a rescheduled Wednesday duel. We had Bedford and Londonderry. Lancers hosted the Bulldogs and took a few lumps on only they clear 4 wins, including David Pinto Jr. He stuck Calvin Bradley early in the second. You had Cam Roussel over Grace Kenna, also by pin, except in the third. And then topped off the Londonderry scoring with a pin by Dylan Nadu. And Caleb Holden picked up a major decision to round out all of Londonderry scoring. And then it was Bedford the whole way after that. Captain Tucker Watson, 17-1 tech fall. The rest of the Bedford team had pins as well as 3 forfeits on the night. So I guess the message here is listen, Tucker, get to work. The rest of the team's pinning. You're out here. Tech falling? Well, let's pick it up a notch, Captain. Quick shout out to Nick Ziris and his crew. They continue to provide great opportunities for the JV wrestlers in New Hampshire, as well as the NHWA apprentices who continue to hone their skills with the same goal, which is crack the varsity lineup and get to the MOC. So all working together. It's a great environment and keep up the great work. Thank you very much. Winnisquam Quad, they hosted. They had Kingswood, Prospect Mountain, and Exeter. Home team had a good day going 2-1 with wins over Kingswood and Prospect Mountain. Their only loss was to them boys at Exeter, 48-31. And, Exeter, they keep getting it done with good wins over, Winnisquam and Kingswood. They blanked Prospect Mountain 84-0. Obviously, a couple of forfeits there. But a good day of, listen, let's be honest, those quad meets, they're really nice in the sense you can get in, get a bunch of matches, and go home and have a great day. So, good job up there to Coach Osmer and the crew. We got the Big Red tournament down in Tingsboro, where Pelham, I think they've been going there for a long time. So they traveled down to Mass and they attended the Big Red tournament. They missing a few weights, but the Pythons, they pulled off a 4th place finish behind champions Triton, 2nd place North Andover, and Franklin County at 3rd. Pelham had 2 champs, Ben Maslanik at 157, going 3-0, and Billy Nichols, 190, going 3-0, and grabbed the Outstanding Wrestler Trophy in the upper weight. So good job, Mr. Nichols and Mr. Maslanik. Pythons had 2 runners up in Philip Smith at 165, went 2-1 on the day. And Joe Libre, 175 pounds, went 3-1. Mr. Victor Zanoni rounded the podium out for Pelham, taking 4th. Not a bad day for Pelham. And if you've been around the sport for a while, here's what I know about Pelham. They just continue to get stronger as the season goes on. Coach Rittinger will no doubt have them ready for the January push that we're about to step into, but also come at D3 tournament. Don't assume anybody's safe from a Python squeeze. Beast of the East, Delaware. It's a good trip. Well, the appropriately named Beast of the East, it has brackets filled with Kellers and Londonderry's David Pinto Jr. He traveled down to the University of Delaware. Bob Carpenter Center, along with Timberlane Studs, not together. I don't know. Maybe they did. I don't know. But Timberlane heads down, and this year, Coach Kakulo and Pinto Jr., they took a trip down. And listen, for those that are not aware of this tournament, it's not a shock to say no hardware is coming back home to New Hampshire. However, it's good to leave home, hit the dark jungle, take your licks, and return, be a stronger version of yourself. No doubt that Junior will bring that back to his home practice room and keep growing and getting a little bit better every time. And then, listen, Timberlane, status quo, tradition of winning and competing hard. They're getting their kids to tough tournaments and being challenged beyond winning, just first place. And so good job to the coaching staffs there to create opportunities for kids that, may or may not walk through a lot of tournaments on the local scene. So again, get out of town, go do some things. All right. Speaking of Londonderry, the rest of the squad was at home holding down the fort. And so They host their annual holiday tournament. It's a big community effort, and we'll hop right in. We're gonna go bracket through bracket. Start at 106. Um, and I saw the remainder of the Timbo team also handling business. Scott Patty from Timberlane, he takes the championship over Michael Puff, New Fairfield, Connecticut, with 4 pins and a major on the day. Lennox De Leon, Londonderry, he takes Hyro Malikian, Manchester Central with a first period pin for third place. So congratulations there again, Timberlane up to some good stuff, looking to return back to the glory of championships. 113 pounds. You had Mason Sheltra, Colchester runs through the bracket, and that's Colchester, Vermont, unless you're confused. But yeah, Mr. Sheltra runs through the bracket, 3 pins on the day, including over Zachary Patty of Timberlane, who was your runner-up. Brody Phillips Raymond picked up 2 first-period pins en route to a third, including one over Parker Parent, Sanford, Maine. Got 120 pounds. It was the 4 seed, Kane Knight from Winnicott, who outperformed the day, taking a Lance Liebens from the White Mountains to a 15-11 decision. Liebens also had a heck of a day, beating his number 7 seed with a runner-up finish for the first White Mountain placer. More to come with them. You had Cam Roussel, Londonderry. He must have been pissed because he rallied off a first period pin and 2 tech falls, including over fourth place Jaden Peralta, 16-0 to take third place. So very tough bracket with that 120. Couple I don't want to say upsets, but just didn't play out to the seeds. You got 126 pounds. We got Sauhegan's Jack Kaler. He ran into a brick wall in the finals. And after giving up 0 points and securing 3 falls, Colchester's Cahota Lafon, he put it on Kaler 6-1 before pinning him in the first. So sucks for Kaler today. And this is how you get better, right? Face someone better than you, and boom, a new level to aim for. So I'm sure Mr. Kaler's headed right back to the room, and you know, one thing you know about him, he's not quitting. He's just going back in, getting better. And so, in the Concy side of the 126-pound bracket, you had Cam Pettingill, Timberlane over Tyler Hutchinson of Cumberland, Rhode Island for third place. So congratulations to Cam Pettingill for third. 132 pounds, you see second place, White Mountain placer in Logan Sampson. The number 6 seed who caught a break in the semis with a medical forfeit against the number 2 seed. Well, he made the most of it as he measures Landon Carson, Sauhegan, who beat the number 1 seed before the loss. So 132-pound bracket all over the place. It's going to be fun to watch those Sauhegan boys, right? Like, you beat the number 1 seed, right? Get you where you need to be. They're just gonna keep coming. Sauhegan is tough, and they're really fun to watch. So, 138 pounds. We got another medical forfeit this time in the finals. That allowed Ben Smiley of Sauhegan right to the top of the podium with Sean Pitriel, New Fairfield for second. Smiley had a couple of pins and a major decision to secure the title, and he continues to improve each week. And Sean Gilbert, New Fairfield, he's down Casey Thorne from Triton for third. Horn representing Trinity. Excuse me, not Triton, but Trinity. And it's great to see that school back in the mix. So 138, again, medical forfeits in those 32 and 38. It happens. It's a really tough sport. But we talk about tough kids from Sauhegan, and we go to 144 pounds with Chase Knuckles. He was the 3 seed, made the most of it. He reached the finals, outscoring his opponents 30-3 before getting a taste of his own medicine. James Chaplick from Sanford, Maine, who scored 46 on the day, including 17 against Baby Knuckles for the major decision, takes first place. So, again, can't say it enough. I know the young kids, these young men, they think winning is everything, and they're supposed to. That's what drives them. But these wins and losses, the losses will have you definitely get a lot better. The wins are beautiful. They make your ego feel good. But, much like Kaler, Knuckles back in the room, sharpening iron again. Jumping to 150, we got Caleb Holden from Londonderry. He brings home the total points title. I made that up, by the way. He scored 62 on the day with an opening fall and text the rest of the way, including over runner-up Cole Brandt of Sauhegan. Again, another Sauhegan kid up there in the finals. Connor Pickering, Sanford takes out Gage Nisbet from Portsmouth via first period pin for third and fourth, respectively. We move to 157. You got Dominic Young. He gets to the top of the podium, and he's from Winnicott, and he runs right up to the top of that podium, taking out Alden Wiley, White Mountains. Young with two pins, two major decisions, ending 18-5 against Wiley in the finals. Wiley had two falls and a 14-9 decision on the day. No slouch, right? So congratulations to Dominic Young on the title at 157. You had Sam Albert from Sauhegan. He falls in the Conci finals to Ben Vadenis. My apologies, Ben. He's from Cumberland, Rhode Island. And Albert got fourth place there. So again, some more points for Sauhegan. 165. It was run by the out-of-staters. Brody Coppins, Colchester, beat Ricky Callis from Sanford, and Samuel O'Connell from Cumberland, Rhode Island. Tops New Hampshire's Connor Perry from the White Mountains for third and fourth. So, again, New England wrestling showing well at 165, just not the best in New Hampshire, right? 175, Landon Fitzsimmons, also from Cumberland, Rhode Island, beat the one seed in the semis by a major decision before topping Ryan Robel or Wobel, depends if there's a letter silent, of New Fairfield for first place. So congratulations to Fitzsimmons from Cumberland, Rhode Island. Again, another good bracket at the top for out-of-staters. Brody Malinowski, Kearsarge gets New Hampshire on the podium, beating Caden, double D, not sure. Valou, Sanford, Maine for third. We move to 190. The 1 and 2 seed both pinned their way to the finals, giving up 0 points, man. And they, someone's had to go. It was Connor Campbell of Winnicott besting Ryan Grutzner of New Fairfield, 7-0, staying unbeaten and unscored upon for the day. Note to self, keep an eye on Connor Campbell of Winnicott. Noted. In what was a 50% split, half in-state, half out-of-state, Noah Albert, Colchester, pins, Liam Fisher, Sauhegan for third and fourth. Again, Sauhegan topping up on the board there. 215, Canton Hill, Sanford gives up 1 point on the day before claiming the championship over Julius Souza of Cumberland, Rhode Island. Zachary Lavey, Winnicott, the 1 seed, battles back 4 matches underneath to secure third over Seamus Wellen of Sauhegan. And those are the days that those college coaches look at. It really does take heart to battle back as the 1 seed on an opening round loss and get back to first. So great job, Mr. Lavey. Sure we're going to be seeing some more of Zachary. All right, last weight class, 285. Alden Treadwell, Sanford, Maine, mostly smashed his way to first place, though he had a barn burner in the semis against Connor Boudreau from Cumberland, Rhode Island. 14-14 before securing the pin. Again, 285. 14-14. That's a lot of points. A lot of good action there. Gannon Wilford, Manchester Central, gets Central on the podium with a runner-up honors after a tough 6-4 quarters win and a semis pin. And then you had Tristan Ruiz, New Fairfield, Connecticut, puts it on Edgar Bejic of Raymond with a 49-second pin. And so overall, pretty good day for, New Hampshire there at the Londonderry tournament. Sure, it was run very well. All signs point to a very reasonable end time, which I can't tell you as an official how much I enjoy that. I'm sure parents who have young kids and all that other stuff, I'm sure they enjoy it. So more we can do with that, the better. Let's get to the team results. A lot of Sauhegan in the mix as we went through the recap. Well, Sauhegan has a lot of heartbreak in the finals, going 1-5. And they can cry over it because they got the team title. Topping number 2, Sanford, 168 to 150.5. So great team effort by Sauhegan. They ran into some tough kids from Sanford, but held on with, 1 champion, 4 runner-ups, and 3 fourths. And that was able to push them over the hump. Winnicott, they had 3 champs and a 3rd place for the next New Hampshire team in the top 10. And then 7, 8, 9, 10 was the White Mountains, Timberlane, Londonderry, and Plymouth. but I think Plymouth was a B team. Don't quote me on that because they were also at Hollis Brookline. But again, good run for Sauhegan. This was an interesting weekend because we also had Lowell. Lowell was Friday, Saturday. So throw some of these tournaments off. Get to that in a bit. But again, overall, Londonderry did a great job. Well-run tournament. Congratulations to all the champions there. And we're going to move on to where I was for the day, and that is the Hollis Brookline Nor'easter. Quick water break. P.S. My wife is out there wrapping gifts. I'm in here doing this. So, what an angel she is. I digress. All right. So, Hollis Brookline, right? 106 pounds. We're going to get after her right away. All right. Remington, and not making it easy on me. Grunhuvud, I don't know, Massabesic in Maine. And again, everybody, I don't proclaim to be the best name person, but we'll call him Remington, 106 pounds. And Will Healy from Lebanon, somebody I'm very familiar with and have been watching quite a bit. Well, both dominated their way to the finals with 2 second period and 2 first period pins, respectively. Remington, I was going to try and do it again, Remington. He tops Haley 7-0 before a first period pin for a first place. You don't see that often, and I'm sure Will Healy was not too happy, but that Remington he was tough. You had Mason Morrison from Plymouth again. I think they're the A squad was here at Nor'easter. Defeats Cole Nault from Goffstown for third place with a 16-2 thrashing and ends it with a pin. So good job there at 106 pounds. Moving along, you had 113 pounds. Similar story, 1-2 seed, smashed away to the finals. This time, upperclassman junior Sean Crean, John Stark, he got the 1 seed, and freshman Victor Loam, Hollis Brookline, the 2 seed. And they had a great battle in the finals. Crean looked tough early on, and Loam, he held his composure. Both got getting their offenses going, getting their moves off. Good composure. I gotta tell you, because home gym, right? Freshman. I mean, he's got experience under his belt, but every level's a little bit different. But Vic held off, even when he got in his bad position. He didn't try to fight to hang on to it. He just rolled, gave up the points that he needed to give up, and then he really got after it. And so the Frosh keeps the campaign undefeated with a 17-11 decision over the always scrappy Crean. I'm sure we're going to see those 2 young men again. We had Harold Hieronymus, Coach Devon, Coach Paraskevich. You're going to have to help me with that one. Well, Harold from G-Town, he earns third place after beating Connor Jakes of Spalding via fall after scoring 14 points. So a lot of points down there on the 106, 113 pound brackets before ending it with a pin. 120 saw the return of Gabe Osborne, G-Town, who finally makes a return to the tournament competition. At least for me, I hadn't seen him yet. And return he does as the 6th seed, pins his way to the final, and thrashes Gavin Turcott of the hosting Hollis Brookline Cavaliers 17-0. So welcome back, Mr. Osborne. It's good to see you. Stay focused, stay disciplined. Underneath, you had Jamison Keller. Hollis Brookline took a close decision 4-0 over Cooper Keeler of Massabesic to secure third place. So again, Osborne back. G-Town, I'm sure, very happy that he's going to be back in the lineup on a more regular basis. You had 126 pounds. Very interesting bracket. Got busted kind of thing where the 1 and 2 seed, they both went 1 and 2, did not place in the top 4. Patrick Jones, Massabesic, the 8 seed, faced 7 seed Hunter Sheldon, Goffstown in the finals, and wins 13-4. So again, 1 and 2 seed, have a good day, put your civvies on. 7 and 8 seed hanging in the finals. So excellent job, and that's why we wrestle the brackets. Robert Phipps, Plymouth, he put it on Samuel Cruz of Manchester West 11-1 before the end by fall at the 2:34 mark. Yeah, I believe I ref that match, and Mr. Phipps looked very strong. Mr. Cruz did his best, but boy, just, sometimes you're the hammer, sometimes you're the nail. 132 was a tough bracket. Bunch of studs, including Pinkerton Academy's Lance Bordelot and Massabesic's Evan Boulard. So both of them teched or pinned their way to the finals, with Boulard taking the championship 10-5. It's a back and forth affair. Boulard struck first with a takedown, two near fall, and Bordelot quickly reversing, ending the first 5-2. Third saw Boulard, choose bottom. Bordelot chose to let him up. They started making some score. Furious attacks, big scramble. Boulard getting one more takedown and giving up a stall call. 10-5 in the final, with Massive Beast wrestler taking top honors. And, again, Lance Bordelot, very tough wrestler. And apparently Evan Boulard, very tough wrestler. So great match, good tough competition. And underneath in the bottom side of that bracket was some really good competition as well. You had Blake Quas from Newport, who lost in the quarters to Spalding's Noah Jackson. He ripped off four straight for third place, downing Benjamin Walton, Goffstown, in the Conci finals. So good to see the Newport stud making some waves at the kind of the first big tournament of the year. And then we saw hometown star Caden Brusso at 138 pounds. He just took down the title in the bracket, pinning his way to the finals, where he met Nicholas Chenard. Downed him 7-0 for first place. Just, casual day for Mr. Brusso. Um, Ian Campbell, G Town, he lost to Brusso in the semis. Ended the day with a second period pin of Mason Bodine, Pinkerton Academy, for third place. So 38 again, Caden. You know, I spoke very highly of him in many episodes previously. He is a man on a mission as a senior, and really looking to shine a light there at home. That hometown wrestling program. I mean, he's just been around it for a while, and you got a kid like Vic behind him. It's just like lather, rinse, and repeat there for Coach Bumpus and staff. And so, congratulations, Caden. Good work. We moved to 144, where Spalding's Jaden Deal was a man on fire Saturday. Maybe he's looking to, take that animal title away from his teammate, but he secured the title with two pins and a tech, including a first period pin over Nolan Lindstadt from Hopkinton. Good to see Hopkinton on the podium, by the way. So excellent job, Jaden. Again, another fun kid to watch. Super tough, doesn't quit, got a gas tank, gonna push. And then you got Noah Cataldo from Pinkerton Academy. He's looking rough and tumble this season after a good offseason of growth and putting the work in. And he downed Aiden Partridge from Plymouth with a 22-5 tech fall. So got the motor, kept it running, got it done. Takes third place. So great job to all those in the 144-pound bracket. We got a 150-pound bracket. The 3 and 4 seeds, they made it their ways to the final. BG's Jack Foster, he squeaked by Stevie Dan Boyce in the semis with an 8-6 decision. Daniel Frixion, he took out the 1 seed Dylan Gravelis in emphatic fashion with a 16-1 tech. And he continued his winning ways with a third period pin over Foster from Girton. So I've been talking about Frixion for a bit this season, just a couple, we're 2 weeks in, but man, just looking tough. And I got front and center on a couple of his matches this past weekend, and he's a tough kid. He's gonna be fun to watch. Underneath, you had Carter Mayotte, Pinkerton Academy. Didn't make the day any easier for Stevie Dan Boyce, but he teched him 17-0 for third place. So rough day in the office for Dan Boyce. I'm sure he'll be back to work and back at it. 157, another Cavalier hometowner, Jacob Critchfield, crushing the competition, including runner-up Grant Wenhart, Plymouth Regional, with a big first period win after a 12-3 lead. Connor Combs, Pinkerton, took third place, had to beat a tough Manchester West Justani Rivera 2 times, once with a tech and once with a pin. Combs is tough, and keep your eye on Rivera. As the season goes on and he cleans up some of the technique, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. He's very fast, very athletic, got quick, got slick movement. Just give him a little time. He'll clean a few mistakes up. Coach has got him working hard. And Justani just might surprise some people down here at the end. So, and again, I got to tell you, I can't say enough good things about Coach Avery Portnari over there. What he's doing with the team and what he's doing is he's helping to be a great influence on the young men. Humble, respectful, all those Manchester West kids. Just very humble, very respectful, and it's not just me noticing. It's a lot of the other coaches. And we all know some of these coaches, they can be cranky. So when they hand out a compliment, it means something. So Manchester West, keep up the great work. 165, we saw the last of the McKiernans. Landon, with I believe brother Jack in the audience, probably home for the holidays. I think he was in attendance. Well, Brother Landon, he pins his way to the championship. No points given up, including against runner-up Dominic Ciotti of Plymouth Regional. So Landon right back at it this year. Again, comes from some good ilk and Brother Jack and Brother T Mac. So L Mac in the house again. Noah Womack from G Town. He was up 6-2 in the semis against Ciotti and he got pinned. Well, he stormed back for third over Garrett Switzer. Massabisa gave up 0 points underneath once he we won't talk about it anymore. All right. 175. The animal was out of the cage. Sawyer Goodwin, Spalding. He pinned all of them and Stingy. 0 points against to claim the title over Sean Broderick of Pinkerton. Sawyer's looking good, right? I hope he gets as many tough matches as he can before the postseason. He's gonna need it. We need Nolan Galvin from Plymouth taking third with a Conci semis pin and down 8-5 to Tyler Osorio from G Town. Pulls off the pin, leaving Osorio with fourth. So excellent job. It's why we wrestle until the end of the match, whatever that is. So very interesting end of the day there for Mr. Galvin. At 190, listen, I may have to promote the sheriff, Emmett Nossman from Plymouth, as he rounded up the usual suspects en route to a first place finish with blue collar captain from John Stark, Alex Dakota, who they met in the finals, 1 and 2 seed. And Nossman's he is looking tough this year, right? Senior year, peaking at the right time before he heads out into the real world. Underneath, you had Coleman Pennington from Massabesic. He fell to Descoto in the semis, but he bounced back with 2 pins and 1/4, and with one over fourth place Jacob Velez from Hollis Brookline. Again, some Hollis Brookline points getting on the board. Keep your eye on Osman. He's going to be fun to watch the rest of this year. See who's out there that wants to battle with him. 215. So we got Anthony Caruso. The short story is this. Well, he's a beast, plain and simple. He took on the Viking from the north, Ethan Lewis from Skoma, and ended it with a second period pin for his second fall on the day. Just a real tough, slick kid. And if you've ever watched Ethan, and like I've spoken, just a real tough, strong kid. Hussein Osarian from Plymouth and Evan Couture from Spalding, Kucher, excuse me, who both lost in the semis. Saro Osarian top Kuchiku via 14-6 major decision. So what I loved about that match, it was a really tough match and just some great sportsmanship at the end. Win, lose, or draw, man. One's going to get their hand raised, but both of them need to be shaken. And, I love that quick little hug afterwards and great job. Really, it's a good matchup between them. So let's close it out with heavyweight. 285 saw sophomore Bishop Kearns from Bishop Girton, hence the B squared, as the 1 seed, and he did his job as the 3 seed. And, twin beast. There's 2 of them. There's a James Caruso, and then there was a Anthony Caruso. I thought Anthony was a beast at 215. Well, guess what? James is a beast at 285. And so the 2 of them, Kearns and Caruso, identical. Take them down, pin them, we meet in the finals. And that's what they did. And Caruso comes out top with a 22-11 major decision. Caruso's a junior. We could see this matchup a bunch more times over the next 2 seasons because Bishop Kearns is a sophomore. So, and listen, man, B squared is a second-year wrestler. It's going to be fun to watch him. So keep your eye on both of those young men. Congratulations to Caruso for taking down the championship. And then in the underside, we had Wesley Chester from Spalding, gives up 0 points with his 2 Conci wins, taking third over Caleb Thornton. You always had to give up some points to be in the consies. But once he got there, he locked it in, takes third place. All right, let's talk team points. All right. So in 20th place, what? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. With 217 and a half points, you had Pinkerton Academy. They took it down. They had three champions, two runner-ups, three thirds, and a fourth place finish. Plymouth finishing tough in second place at 212, one champ, two second places, and four thirds. Top three rounded out with G Town. Uh, Coaches got them going over there. Osborne got the one championship. You got the one runner up, three fourths, three thirds, four fourths, and a fifth. So just again, team effort there to get in the top three. Rounding out the bottom of the top 10, you had Hollis Brookline at four, Massabesic five, Spalding six, Manchester West at seven, Bishop Garden eight, John Stark at nine, and a B team of Bedford at 10. And so again, congratulations to Pinkerton, Coach Rhodes over there doing some really good work. Got a good supporting cast behind them, and the program's just in a real good position this year. And as you can see, they are built for some tournament fun. So good for them. Great team win. And there was one other tournament this weekend, and so that was the George Bossy Lowell holiday. Yeah, heartbreaker for me this year because it was on a Friday and a Saturday, and the reality was I had to work on a Saturday and I had to work on Friday. So unable to attend this year. So I went through the brackets, I looked some stuff up, and I can kind of give you some of the highlights, but what I've decided to do is to go to the man who knows New England better than anybody that I know, who's at least taken the energy to put it out there. So I'm going to meet up with the Schwartz report tomorrow. We're going to go through the Lowell brackets through his eyes and a couple of my thoughts, and just see how it went down there at the George Bossy Lowell Holiday Tournament. I can tell you this: there was three four-time winners that came out of that tournament. In a little sneak preview, one of them could go for number 5. So, George Bossy Lowell Holiday Review with the Schwartz Report coming up very shortly in the next day or two. Obviously, we got Christmas, so we're going to record tomorrow. We got to get it ready, get it out. So by the end of the week, you'll have that. And again, excited for Schwartz to come on and break some bread with him. Always love talking to Max, and his passion for the sport is very evident. So, the first month is done. Gas tanks are growing each week. Competition's heating up. Wrestlers are coming down to their destination weight class. And January is where the grind is really gonna start to get there. And wrestlers getting better. The wins are harder to come by. Stay on it. It's also Christmas break. And with that, there are temptations of great food and comfort. Don't give in to the short-term happiness and lose focus and ground on the more important goals. There'll be plenty of Christmas holidays when athletics won't be the focus. You'll be able to have your desserts. You'll be able to sit and sleep in on a certain day. Those days are not right now if you're wrestling. So, that being said, I hope everyone has an amazing holiday with their family and friends and remembers what's important. And as always, we'll see you on the mats. And I know I'm very grateful. So you'll see me on the mats with a big old smile.